I know this road is Moor Head, and I'm going to walk round here. Now this would have all been very different 1950s. This has been driven through after the war, as you can see, with all the dual carriageways everywhere. And just here, this building here, white building, from about there to there was Red Gates, knocked down a few years ago. Best toy store, probably out of London. It looked something like this. So that actually does, I mean, that looks more positive than that sort of building. That looks really bleak to me. But as you can see, there's zero old buildings around here. It's completely been obliterated. The most important point is to show you around the corner, which is going down the side of the moor. So you've got Grosvenor House, which is the new headquarters of HSBC in Sheffield, quarter of the size of the previous one, because if you look here, there's all shops underneath there. You've only got offices up there. So Debenhams, nothing's happened with Debenhams yet. And there was talk of building more flats on the moor. But I think the idea at the moment is to try and get small businesses running in it. But we know the success rate with small businesses in Sheffield. So that was supposed to be a cinema, but never happened. So we're on Grosvenor House again here. Like I said, that's the only office space. Most of this beneath there is actually shop frontage. So the same again, the offices for the new Grosvenor House are just those top levels, not there. So if you like, look there and across, that's all shop frontage and very little office space. To say that we had probably a couple of thousand people in Griffin House. It's a bit of a Stonehenge around here. I'd love to know what this is all about, these stones, because as a Sheffield I don't understand. But I'll put the names of the roads on my video when I get back. I think that was Telephone House. It's now Vita Student. There's a new cafe here. Wonder how they're surviving with footfall. I was going to do a video on pubs from the 80s in Sheffield, and I found one of them. It's now called the Roxy Ballroom, but we knew it as Berlin's. So we've got the light cinema here, and I have been in the light cinema, don't tell many, but the screens are big, and the seats are big as well, very comfortable. Not as nice as my favourite cinema in Sheffield from the past. There's the back of Debenhams. But it is worth going in the light cinema and sampling it yourself. But I'm told all the food places that used to go up an escalator of all well, a lot of them have gone bust, or they did during the lockdown. So here, I said there was no underground car parking for HSBC's new flagship head office, but I think that may be the car park. So I was wrong about that. Behind it you can see the zero carbon building, and I couldn't resist going up to the builders today and asking how much energy went into producing a zero carbon building. We're very lucky if they can actually claw back all the energy that they've used in it during the time of its lifetime. I think an electric car takes 9 years before it actually claws back all the energy used in its production. But like I said, this would have all been back streets. You'd have probably had alleyways from the Moor, because the Moor was completely built in the after the Second World War. So, but these would have all been back streets along here, with crisscrossing streets. So as you can see, it's very post-war, modernistic. But it's probably even changed in the last 20 years. Got Primark here, back end of it. We're just completely soulless down here. I'll just spin back round and give you another zoom of it. As you can see, like I said, I think that was Telephone House, or I've got the wrong building. Right, cinema. As you can see, absolutely zero. It's a complete reset of Sheffield down here, and it's happening more and more. I'm sure there's maps of Sheffield city centre, and you'll be able to look at this road on the city centre and just see how different it is. You can see Trafalgar Warehouse down there. That's how probably a lot of the area would have been. You can see that it's an events venue now, Trafalgar Warehouse. But it would have been semi-industrial around the back of the Moor, because there's a Moor running down my right hand side. Would have been semi-industrial, probably housing down here and small shops on criss-crossing roads, not this dual carriageway like we've now got. I don't think it'll be long before they give this the Arundel Gate treatment, because this is running down the right hand side of the Moor. Arundel Gate, etc., run down the left hand side, and they'll be trying to stop cars coming down here next. Really convenient roads to get from one side of Sheffield to the other. Back of Sainsbury's here. And Sainsbury's looks so bleak inside nowadays. Got the car park for Atkinson's here. Now I'm informed by Atkinson's, because I have sent them a few emails saying that they could do so much more, and they assure me that there's big developments coming at Atkinson's. Well, seeing is believing, because Atkinson's was a fantastic store. Used to love walking through the door. You could smell the scents, aftershaves and all of that. It was the first thing you got in the building. Now they don't do that. It's a big seller. Used to be fantastic at Christmas in Atkinson's, and I think they had a Father Christmas and all that sort of thing in Atkinson's. It was an exclusive looking shop, but it isn't anymore. I think it even had a doorman on it. Gives you an idea, doesn't it? Around the back of here. But Sheffield's completely wiped out down this road. I think this week's a shutdown here. Pretty certain. Otherwise I'd be using it. Fitzwilliam Street. Give you a view up there. It's done more for the people who know Sheffield this than anything, because people will probably remember what Fitzwilliam Street used to look like, and you can see what it looks like now. In fact, if I zoom down, see all them flats up there. It's only very recent, so like I said, it would be semi-industrial land, this. Fitzwilliam Gate down there, bottom end of the, well, it breaks through the Moor, that. Now the Moor actually went a lot further. You can see the Manpower Commission building there. Well, that got built in the 70s. You used to be able to drive up and down the Moor, and that sort of blocked off the Moor. But the Moor extended to the right of there as well. So it was a lot bigger street than you can imagine. I just really wanted to give you a picture how much of was wiped out, not by the Germans but by Sheffield City Council. Very recent this. It looks older but it's not. Same again, very recent. Atkinson's there, so you'll be able to get your bearings from that. I've found one decent building which looks really nice. You can see the bus lanes coming in. Just won't be long before, like on a Rundle Gate, they'll be trying to block off it in the other direction. Get across here. So there's, oh, Wickes is still open. Didn't know that. So Wickes still is open. I can see stuff on the car park, which I'm really shocked about. So take back everything I said. Now this, I think this is a listed building. And I understand, I think this was a telephone exchange. I don't think it's still a telephone exchange. Now it's the first time I've really noticed this building. I did see a picture of it, and as I've walked down, it's quite recognisable from the picture I saw. Now, as you can see, this is all that's left of Sheffield. Absolutely beautiful building this. But they've had to go and stick something else on top, haven't they? Look at it, on top of the building. So you can see the back, the Manpower building. I think this has been turned into flats as well. Originally it was lots of government jobs being brought into Sheffield from the south. Then I think a lot of those jobs have gone away again. A bit like Midland Bank bringing all the jobs in, and then most of the decent jobs have been stripped away by HSBC. You can see all this is all modern. This is absolutely sort of how I like to see architecture. So I'll go a bit further down. I'm going to go on the other side of the road and get you a view of this. But it's all now about city centre living, which I disagree with. City centres aren't there for that, but that's what they want to do. The rich elite want to be here. So you can imagine, there's this one glorious building on this back street, and I can imagine that all the way around the back of the Moor it would have been buildings like this, or down the side of the Moor would have been buildings like this. How have we gone from building fantastic buildings like this to dross like that and like that? You can still build things modern, but why do we have to do it the way we do? So we're coming down to, I think it's St Mary's Gate roundabout, or I might have got the wrong one. I'll find out in a minute. So I don't think this is St Mary's Gate, this one, because I can't see the church. So St Mary's Gate's a bit further down to the left. But look at it, look at these are new buildings. Now, I understand, I think that has not reached its full height. I think it was going to be much higher, and then they topped it off at a much lower level. Just have a quick walk in here. But the same again, this reminds me a little bit of the hole in the road in Sheffield, built at about the same time. I'll just give you a view from the middle of it. So there you are, more massive student accommodation. Oh, telephone exchange if I'm right, or existing one, I don't know. Then what would have been a much taller building, I understand, that got topped off at that level. So I'll put you the actual correct street name on the video when I upload it. I just wanted to show you that the road I've just come down the side of the Moor would have been totally different, and you can see one of the buildings when we get right to the bottom how it probably would have been. What an absolute shame.